back.
What?
Video 2. Episode 102. This is Raw Review. It was like, oohs in this intro. It's an intro. We're talking about the night after Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Seeing if WWE can keep up that momentum.
See if it wasn't just a one-night stand.
Yeah, that was good. Let's see if they can... Oh, you motherfucker. Well, let's see if they can, see if they can move past the one-night stand and really take it to the bank. Because we're heading in to Money in the Bank just a couple weeks away. And we got some qualifiers on the show. But let's talk about what matches happened.
What matches happened?
We had Sami Zayn defeat Sheamus.
All right.
We had the New Day defeat the Social Outcasts.
Woo!
We had Cesaro defeat the Miz. We had Chris Jericho defeat Apollo Crews.
Right.
We had Big Cass defeat Bubba Ray Dudley. We had Dean Ambrose defeat Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And we had Kevin Owens defeat AJ Styles. Now, stuff that doesn't involve Money in the Bank, at least at this point. We had the New Day wishing Raw a happy birthday.
Even though it really wasn't a birthday. It was just 1200th episode.
I think maybe if you break it down, it is technically its birthday. I don't know for sure.
I'm calculating right now.
Do it. They said it'd be 23 years old. So it was Raw's episode 1200, 1,200 episodes of Monday Night Raw. So the New Day had a cake, and then Big E started teasing that he was going to throw it in somebody's face. Maybe it was somebody at ringside. Maybe it was one of the commentators. JBL didn't want it to happen because he paid a lot of money for his hair. Didn't want it to happen. It was almost
Alright, it's close. It's not exactly 23 even. But it's 23.076923.
Okay, so it's technically Raw. Happy birthday, Raw. So they were so they're doing the cake bit, and then the Social Outcasts actually attack Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston on the inside of the ring, and so that kickstarts the match. A fun match where we got to see all three members of the New Day actually getting in on the action, and
more Xavier Woods.
Yeah. More Xavier Woods. Kofi was we thought Kofi was maybe not feeling too hot since the fact that he stayed out of the Extreme Rules match. But
he wasn't in this match a lot. Though.
Wasn't in a lot, but he did some good shit while he was in it. We had Heath Slater just got knocked the hell out and was out on the outside. Both Axel and Dallas picked him up, and then Dallas decided to go for a boat train. And as they're doing that, Heath Slater can't even follow. He just face plants on the outside. And we get Woods actually doing a dive to the outside, taking out both Dallas and Axel. And then throwing Heath Slater back in, where Big E and Kofi hit the midnight hour. And the New Day picks up the win.
Yeah.
And then one thing we didn't talk about during the pre-show of Extreme Rules is we did have Big Cass and the Dudleys had a little altercation prior to the Dolph Ziggler Baron Corbin match.
A little verbal sparring turning into a bit of a brawl.
Yeah.
Where Cass, I guess he outsmarted the Dudleys. He made them run into each other.
Yeah.
And I didn't pick Cass out for being the brains of the operation, but
you never know.
Neither did I pick out Enzo for being the brains. I feel like there's not very many brains in that operation, to be honest.
You know what?
Enzo, the one who I say has the more brains, his brains got scrambled, so
they
might be fucked.
I was gonna say, well, what about Carmella? And I was like, she's not the brightest women on NXT either. So, hey,
she's not the brightest women.
They make it work somehow.
If you can talk well enough, you can get away with just about anything.
Well, it's a good thing that Enzo was on Monday Night Raw because he got to talk. He got to talk about how he didn't pay his electric bill. I thought that was a funny little comparison to the fact that he got knocked out at Payback last month.
Yeah, it was more like Simon Gotch fucking crashed a car into the electrical pole outside his house.
But yeah, no, it looks like Enzo is.
How you doing?
Enzo's good to go. He got involved a little bit in this match. It was a one-on-one match between Big Cass and Bubba. A good powerhouse match, which was fun to watch. Bubba doesn't get to play that very often.
East Coast Hoss fight.
Yeah. Hoss fight's the theme of this week. Eventually Big Cass does pick up the win. He hits a big boot and an Empire elbow because he knows not to hit the East River Crossing on Bubba Ray Dudley. It doesn't work out very well. But Big Cass picking up the win. Yeah, Enzo got pushed around by Devon, and yeah, he seems to be good.
They did the little Cass missile launches Enzo.
Yeah. So yeah, Enzo is back in the fold. So I think he.
Now let's get Sasha back in the fold.
Yes. Yeah. She hopefully is coming very soon.
Not according to my sources.
Well, your sources suck.
Apparently she ended up herself getting a fairly severe concussion during a 6 women's tag match at a live event.
God damn! Stop getting concussions, people. Leave your brain alone. But let's talk about the stuff that does involve Money in the Bank.
Cha-ching.
We open up with Seth Rollins making his return to Monday Night Raw.
To the biggest fucking pop I've heard on Monday Night Raw probably since the night Daniel Bryan retired.
Yes.
Which wasn't that long ago, but still.
No.
It was a big fucking pop.
A month or so ago, a month or two. But yeah, no, he is so over. He's really like letting it sink in. He's like, you guys missed me, huh? And everyone's losing their minds. And he goes, well, that's funny because, when I broke up the Shield, you guys were booing me and calling me a sellout. And then you guys complained that I always hid behind the Authority. And then when I cashed in Money in the Bank, you guys were saying that, oh, I was the weakest champion of all time, but then I proved all of these things wrong and did all these things, and so he pretty much like lets all these fans in and then tells them to fuck right off, which was a fantastic heel move.
Yeah, and then the crowd started like getting into like, oh, he's still an asshole.
Seth Rollins is just so good at being heel.
Like the guy's like, yeah, he's still an asshole, and then Roman Reigns' music hits. And everybody went, oh yeah, but we hate him.
We like Seth Rollins so much more. So yeah, we get almost...
Seth is my hero again.
We get almost an interaction between them. Seth takes off. He's about to walk away, and then Shane comes out and really kind of sets the stage like, hey, this is what's leading up to this point. But Seth Rollins is right. He never lost his championship. So at Money in the Bank, Roman Reigns will defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins.
Against the man who never lost.
And this actually led into Seth Rollins was doing an interview with Renee Young later on in the show, met up with Stephanie, and tried to give Stephanie a hug, and Stephanie's like, hey, you've been gone for a while, things are different here now, and that means that includes our business relationship. So she shook his hand, and Seth's like, this is weird.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It's different than what it was when he left.
You have to think about it from like the point of where they're at. Cena and Rollins and now Orton, when he returns, are coming back to a significantly different landscape than when they were injured.
Yeah, which John Cena will be returning next Monday on Raw.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see where all these guys who have now been missing for months off the roster, where they're going to plop back in because of the way everything is working so differently. No authority.
The dueling.
Everything's so much more fair, it seems like.
Yeah.
With Stephanie and Shane actually kind of working together for the most part.
Working together, but also kind of having opposing views on how to do things. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when those other big stars make their comeback.
Which should be fairly soon for all of them.
Yes. Seth Rollins just returned.
Vince recently conference called and said that he expected Rollins, Cena, Orton, and Bray Wyatt to all return within about a month.
Speaking of which, not only was it Raw's birthday, but it was Bray Wyatt's birthday. Happy birthday. So now the rest of the night is all Money in the Bank qualifying matches. We get 6 on Monday Night Raw. The other 2 will take place on SmackDown later this week. Our first one...
5.
No, because there's... Oh yeah, no.
Graphically,
that's right, 7 people. Never mind. 5 tonight, 2 on SmackDown. So our first one is Sami Zayn versus Sheamus.
Which Ginger is the kickiest.
Yeah, Sheamus doing an interview saying that what he was going to do to Sami Zayn was not going to be appropriate for all ages, which is kind of weird. But it was it was a very, very physical match on the part of Sheamus. He had to really throw his weight around. But Sami Zayn was really able to counteract that size differential, and ended up being the first to qualify for Money in the Bank, hitting a haluva kick out of nowhere, totally threw Sheamus off, and Sheamus ends up throwing a temper tantrum after the match, and is just like losing his shit. And this carried over into an interview when Apollo Crews is talking about he gets to go against Jericho, who's all messed up from the Asylum match. So, he's like, Renee's asking, how do you feel, having this advantage? And he starts talking about it. And Sheamus beats the high holy hell out of Apollo Crews, saying that, the new era doesn't mean anything. And if he tries to take his spot, he's gonna be right there to take it right back. Though Apollo Crews didn't really sell the beatdown in the match at all.
Yeah. You know what I like better than Sheamus? Peanut butter Twix.
Cool. Not a sponsor. Yeah, Apollo Crews.
Go ahead, Twix, if you want to sponsor us.
We can go and talk about that right now. Apollo Crews did not sell the beatdown at all in his match against Jericho, but it was fun to watch him. Jericho has bandages all over his back, his elbow, his triceps. He is just
definitely that elbow area.
Because the elbow messed up.
There's pictures of that. Like, if we can bring one of those up.
It was a gnarly little spot. They got a lot of the thumbtacks. But yeah,
Apollo Crews would take a little jabs at the Band-Aids.
Like slapping him, and then he does the big slam and everything. But despite all of the the playing around and having an advantage, Jericho ends up qualifying for Money in the Bank, hitting a code breaker and knocking out Apollo Crews. So Jericho.
Is Apollo Crews' first loss since coming up to the main roster?
I think so.
Alrighty.
At least it was to Jericho.
Yeah.
We also had Cesaro versus The Miz. Another great match. A lot of good fallout from Extreme Rules. Both these guys are working very well together.
A lot of play on Cesaro's injured shoulder.
Yes. Miz did a really good job of working that over. Because it was a focal point at Extreme Rules as well, and so not only was it, it's coming back from an injury and then the Fatal 4-Way. So Miz really takes advantage of that, hanging it up on the ropes a couple times. This actually led into the end where he yanks it over the top rope, goes up for a double axe handle, and ends up getting caught with a European uppercut, and then hit with a neutralizer. And Cesaro is heading to Money in the Bank.
How about them apples?
Those Swiss apples. We also had... Okay.
They announced later in the show also that match, Cesaro winning, ends up giving him the opportunity to challenge The Miz for the Intercontinental title this week on SmackDown.
Yes, it does. And also, we found out that Kalisto will be getting his rematch against Rusev on SmackDown as well.
Yes, so it will be Rusev versus the Masked Rubber Band.
And then I don't know if this is happening on SmackDown, or if it's happening next week on Raw. Might be next week on Raw. We're not done with Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, they're going to have a match on Raw next week. A technical wrestling match. Specifically, because that's what Dolph Ziggler says, that Corbin wouldn't have beaten him at Extreme Rules if it had been for the no disqualification stipulation.
So is next week going to be the end of it?
Maybe. Also, we had a really awkward in-ring promo with Charlotte and Ric Flair.
I did not like this at all.
It made, it cut at a commercial break at the end of the promo, and we come back and the commentators are visibly uncomfortable.
This was touted as Charlotte's address of the women's championship.
Yeah.
She barely said a goddamn thing about the women's championship. The whole focus was she didn't need Ric Flair. Yeah. But the weirdest part, so they have this whole entrance where they're, arm in arm. They got Dana Brooke out there with them. And then, Dana thanks Charlotte for, allowing her to be in the ring with the 16-time world champion. And then Ric Flair says how proud he is of Charlotte and all the things that she's done since she since she retained the title at WrestleMania.
And then the daddy issues come out.
It was so back and forth. It was fucking stupid. I wish Thomas Wolfe was here to rant about it because I imagine he threw a temper tantrum during this, or at least was just visibly upset because this is just. It was a bad segment. I did not like it at all.
Yeah,
it bothered me.
You know, and it's weird because it just didn't make sense in the scheme of where this is coming from.
Exactly.
And on top of that, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, we're irritated at the whole Ric Flair keeps getting involved bit of the angle, but then it's never fun to watch someone like Ric Flair get berated for something that's pretty open history. Is that Ric Flair was never touted as, you know, the dad of the year, sort of thing. Because I mean, he was, you know, for having so many kids, the man was married to the business, more than, you know, anything else.
And I think that specifically is one thing that made me really hate this. Is before she goes on this tirade of how he abandoned her and, you know, and was never around, she started by saying, I understand why you were never home. Because when you become champion, you want to stay champion. And you can't do that at home. So that bothered me, is that she's like, I understand why you did this, but why did you do this? Stop. And the Dana Brooke was just kind of there. She didn't, other than the one spot where she like thanked Charlotte for being out there, she didn't say a goddamn thing. She was just like that, like the awkward moment when you're at your friend's house and like they get in an argument with their parents, and you're just kind of in the corner just waiting for things to stop. That was Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
And then that transitioned into a backstage bit where you see Ric Flair walking out of the arena. He's got his suitcase, and you know he's got like sympathy looks from Titus O'Neil and Zack Ryder. You know, hugs Arn Anderson. Renee Young asks him for a comment, asks him if he has something he wants to say because he didn't get a chance to say anything in the ring, and he kind of gives her that like everyone can. You know, everyone has seen this facial expression before, and it's like trying to be polite while you're in like in a state of emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's the obviously fake smile.
Yeah, it's the hey, I'm okay while tears are streaming down your face.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. Let's move on. Dolph Ziggler's got a match against Baron Corbin next week. So, is he going to advance over Dean Ambrose? Hell no! Because Dean Ambrose, Jericho's in it, so Dean Ambrose has to move forward now. Yeah. They did have a good match. They had a good technical match, kind of setting the stage for what Baron Corbin will have to contest with going against Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, it was a great 100% stark contrast flip of what Dean Ambrose was doing on Sunday.
Yes. It showed the versatility that Dean Ambrose has.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of good counter hold for each other. Ziggler tried to go for the zigzag, and Dean held onto the ropes. And then that allowed Ziggler to pick up Dolph Ziggler, or Ziggler to pick up Dolph Ziggler.
He picked himself
Dean
up.
Ambrose to pick up Dolph Ziggler and hit the dirty deeds, and Dean Ambrose is officially in Money in the Bank. And then for our main event, we start off with AJ coming out and saying a bit. Excuse me.
Admitting that, you know, he lost because Roman's the better man.
Yeah, which the crowd didn't like that very much. I think AJ got some heel points saying that Roman's good at what he does. But he talks about, he goes, you know, I feel like, you know, of course you had the club and you had the Usos out there, and I feel like if it wasn't for them, you would be looking at the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Didn't set well with the club.
No. Gallows had that mean mug look on his face, and Anderson,
that's just, he's got a resting bitch face.
Yeah. Anderson had this like, motherfucker, what did you just say type look on his face.
I felt like if I saw Gallows just like in a room and he's like sitting across from me, he's like the last guy in the room I'm gonna talk to.
Yeah, he's
just because
He looks mad.
He just constantly looks angry.
We'll just leave that guy alone. But essentially, this is the falling out of the club, you know?
Yeah, Styles was trying to keep everything really up and really like, okay, I need to do my thing, you need to do your thing, but hey, we're still friends, right? This is you're breaking up with somebody, but you're like, we can still be friends though, right?
Never works. It works. Sometimes it works.
It's worked for me before.
But this particular situation was not going to work, especially...
No, because the club is going to play the part of the crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and cause he's like, hey, you do your thing, I'll do mine, but we're still brothers. And Anderson's like, no, we're not. We're not even friends anymore. And AJ's like, if that's the way you want it, I mean, sure. So Anderson and Gallows take off, and Styles goes into his one-on-one qualifying match against Kevin Owens, and they have one killer main event.
Yeah, I give props so much to AJ Styles for this match, because Styles got the shit kicked out of him for a good portion of the Extreme Rules match with Roman Reigns on Sunday.
Right.
And still manages to go out and decide to do a match where, you know, one of the spots is he's getting powerbombed on the ring steps.
I forgot about that.
And, you know, it's not like he didn't get slammed through 2 tables yesterday, got thrown onto the pre-show glass triangle table, and, you know, got smashed from pillar to post, you know, for like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
On Sunday, but he's going to go out and he's going to do it again with Kevin Owens on Monday.
Yeah, and Kevin Owens himself is a weapon.
Headlock master.
Yeah. He knows how to throw his weight around. He went for his real fancy moonsault, which he misses. Yeah, it was a lot of good. What was the Pele spot?
That was the pop-up powerbomb attempt. The Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Played.
Yeah, it was good back and forth stuff. We had no outside interference from anybody.
Yeah, this is one of the things I was going to bring up once we capped off all the matches, is that there was a tweet that I read from Lance Storm talking about how he was glad that WWE went creatively, the match-wise, the way they did with the matches on Raw, because they set up 3 places in the card for potential run-ins to affect finishes of matches, specifically citing that, you know, Sheamus maybe starting a feud with Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin still feuding with Dolph Ziggler,
right,
and then the club having their fallout with AJ Styles, yet in none of those circumstances did that actually affect the way the match went or the outcome of the match.
Yeah, I think there was no actual there was no actual interference or shady victories from any of these matches.
Yeah,
they're all very definitive.
Which was pretty much the way it went at Extreme Rules too.
Yeah, but yeah, so Styles ends up trying to go for the phenomenal forearm, and as he's on the ropes, Owens actually super kicks his feet, crotching him on the top rope, and that allows him to hit the pop-up powerbomb, and Kevin Owens is moving on to Money in the Bank. And so now...
It's a very Canadian Money in the Bank, because now we have 3 Canadians and a Swiss guy.
Yeah.
And a crazy dude.
And a crazy dude.
Dude from Loco Town.
Canadian Swiss Cleveland Psycho.
Yeah, it's right now the way it's looking is that you got the highest percentage odds of a Canadian to win, and even higher if you just say foreigner.
It's true. So yeah, I mean it was an awkward Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw awkward.
Just some weird choices.
A lot of weird breakups.
Yeah, you know, it was definitely a a transition show.
Yeah.
We had very set ideas and ways things were going to go up to Extreme Rules, and then the fallout had a lot of effect of what the next half of the year is going to be as far as
I think what we're getting
storylines.
is, of course we're going to have the immediate setup because, they do the pay-per-views every month. So we have to immediately set up Money in the Bank stuff. But we're going to start getting like some simmering feuds that will probably end up going all the way to SummerSlam.
Yeah. So that's the next big stop is SummerSlam, which is a couple months away. Overall, good episode of Raw. We're building Money in the Bank.
Yeah, some of the storyline stuff was awkward, but as far as the part I pay attention to the most, the from bell to bell portion, the wrestling portion, I was entertained.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. It's a good starting point heading into whatever direction we're going with these guys. That was it for Monday Night Raw. That is it for our Raw review. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, don't forget to like and comment, subscribe, and check out all of our social medias in the description. It could be on the description, I guess.
It's
in the description.
It's a
there's
2D thing.
A lot of links. Facebook and Tumblr and Instagram and Twitter and emails and a podcast form.
Yeah.
If you'd rather listen to us than watch us.
Yes.
Or if you need to just take us on the go if you're on a road trip.
Yeah, don't watch us while you're driving.
Yeah, if you're driving to work or if
Bluetooth that shit. Listen to his podcast. Or you can listen to the video. You can do that.
Yeah, but interact. Because we want to be friends with you on Facebook.
Yeah.
We like when you comment on pictures and like our statuses and whatnot. Everything's hunky dory there.
Also, if you got some criticism, if there's something you want to see different on the show or something we should stop doing, let us know in a constructive comment telling us that our channel sucks. That's not constructive. That's just you being an asshole. But if you want to watch all the other videos that are going to be coming out this week, they'll be up in the playlist.
Yeah, we get a playlist because we're going to have all the normal shizzle that we have every single week, with the exception of we have the Extreme Rules review that we did already, and it's already up there above this one.
Yes.
Also, check out our new page, Reasonable Wrestling Fans, for all brand new content that's unlike what you watch on this channel.
Yes.
Cool stuff, fun stuff.
Yeah, we've only got a couple videos up right now.
It's a lot more. I've got the decision where I feel like it's completely divided. This channel is the analytical channel. The other channel is the opinionative and fun channel.
Yes, absolutely. So we got a couple videos from last week. You can check out Thomas Wolf's first ever rant. Talking about
not his first ever rant, but his first rant on the channel.
His first Wolf rant. You can also check out the first episode of Fantasy Warfare, where we battle it out, Dana Malenko versus Mike Quackenbush. We got episode 2 of Fantasy Warfare coming out this week, and also the debut episode of the Cocktail Hour.
Yeah, you gotta get drunk on wrestling.
So be sure to check out those. More videos to come on that channel as well. Be sure to share those videos. Like the videos, subscribe to those channels, subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Yeah. Watch stuff. Views are good.
Neither Miz or Sheamus are in Money in the Bank.
Hallelujah. And fuck them both.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Fuck each other with spiky dildos.
Alright, I'm done.